So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whenever you're listening to this. If you're watching this, then yeah, you know what I mean? This is just a special video. I had to do it in video format. But this is also going to be the intro for this week's episode of BBB Radio, right? Just something I just want to get out of the way before I get into, the episode proper, right? So, upon my return home after watching a pretty great movie actually called The Woman King, right? It's in theaters right now. You should absolutely see it. Unless it's not your thing, then I don't know. But it's great, right? I got word that a good friend of mine by the name of Janine Charles-Farray actually passed away. I was shocked by this. I could not even believe that happened. Like, I honestly thought that it was, somebody trolling us, or, just somebody just some I don't know, I just did not want to believe that it was true. But I just started scrolling down Facebook, and I just saw post after post after post after post of just RIP shout outs, or just people just in shock. They could not believe, man. I mean, just a lot of people, right? And that just all goes to show just how much of an influence, right? Just how much of an, just how great of an individual she was, though, just for so many people, right? Especially creatives in Trinidad and Tobago, like just expressing their deep sadness in terms of this, right? For me, though, I think that it was just mere fate that I was able to meet her, right? So, little backstory here, right? So, back in 2013, I believe it was, I wrote a rather notorious movie review for a local film, and I'm gonna say what that film is, right? I did it with the best intentions. It wasn't like I was going like I was just some sort of bully and I wanted to rip the movie to shreds and whatnot. But there was a lot of things about that show that I just did not like, and I just expressed it in the way back then that I was used to, right? In terms of my blogging, right? This was back in the good old days, right? I'm long since like retired from that sort of how to say that viewpoint, that creative viewpoint when it comes to my reviews. What I mean? Like I want to offer more constructive criticism these days, right? So that was just an era back then. This is not me anymore, right? But point is, about 2 years later now, this was at the TNT Film Festival. I actually met her through my former boss and current boss, right? They were there, I was tagging along, and they happened to know her. So she ran into me, and she actually like kind of remembered the name, like, oh, you were the guy who wrote that review, right? Now, at first, I was kind of taken aback. I knew that a lot of people knew about the review itself, right? And it's so funny and ironic now that that was the review that got people's attention. When I say people, I mean here in Trinidad, right? Because I was writing for like 2 years straight. I was writing that same style and whatnot, but it's only when people like saw that one review, like, oh my God, what? You know what I mean? But I was still kind of like nervous now because I thought that she would have been, angry or scornful. Like, how could you write like that, or how could you talk about a local film like that, right? But she acknowledged what it is I did. She didn't treat me with scorn or disdain. It was just like, oh, this is what you do. Okay, I understand that. I respect that. And I could tell that she knew that this was something that we really desperately needed, right? Because, when it comes to me and doing this, right, it's not like out of boredom or anything like that. It's just that I honestly think that when it comes to film in general, whether it's ours or someone else's, when I say someone else's, I mean outside of this country here, we do need to talk about it. We do need to discuss it. We do need to kind of critique it. We need to kind of express how we think about it, right? So just telling ourselves, oh, it's good, oh, it's crap, or whatever, right? And I especially feel that same way when it comes to our local content, right? Because yeah, I know we have this thing against criticism here, like we don't like it, you know what I mean? But I do think that for us to grow and develop, that's what we need to do, especially where I'm from in terms of just film, right? And when it comes to Janine, when it comes to Janine herself, sorry, it wasn't just music, it wasn't just theater, it was film as well too. She worked on some films as well too. She was a consultant for many years and whatnot. And again, it was just so fortunate that I was able to meet her, right? And just throughout the years, I would run into her. She would be involved, like just kind of tagging along, what I mean, just to see what's up. That's just always in when it came to film content down here, right? And this is, I mean, like not just during the film festival, but throughout the year as well, right? some of my friends who are who are doing film right now. I was going to say film industry. They know her and met her as well too. And I mean, she was just that warm, radiant person who was just willing to just give people a chance. Just listen to them or watch what they're doing and whatnot, right? And not like disrespect them or think that it's beneath her or whatnot. She just it was just all about the creative arts. It was just all about just knowing that there are a lot of talented people here in Trinidad and Tobago, and all we just want basically is just to be heard or seen. That's really what it is, right? And she was that person. She was one of, I would say, a few that really went out of her way to just really seek out, what I mean, just new talent, right? New fresh faces and all that kind of stuff, right? So that was her. But yeah, I mean, again, I was just shocked at the news, man. I just could not believe that she passed away, man. You know what I mean? It's I don't know. I still in shock over it. Like I still don't know, how to think of it. And I think the real reason for me is that I know that she actually did a lot in her lifetime, right? Way more than I did, right? And way more than I ever will. I honestly believe, right? But I know that there was just so much more that she could do in her life, man. I know that there was so much that she wanted to get done, and just knowing that she didn't get to accomplish that too is one of those things that just it not only breaks your heart, but it just kind of sends chills on your spine though, because you're just thinking like especially like for me, what I mean, being a creative in Trinidad and just knowing that there's so much more that I could do, so much things that could be done, and not knowing if you're ever gonna live to see your hard work pay off, or even if you're gonna live long enough to even attain all your dreams and your goals and whatnot. That kind of freaks me out, right? But for what's worth though, I mean, she did her thing, man. She did everything that she could do in her lifetime. She went above and beyond the call of duty to just be that beacon for the creative arts here, man. But most importantly, she took time to look at the up and comers, right? The creatives who just want to get the name heard. You know what I mean? She was there, right? I mean, again, that was how she was able to meet me. That's how she was able to meet, many people that I know who are involved in the creative arts, right? And for me, just in closing, I'm just kind of warning who's gonna be that next person who's gonna, fill her shoes. I don't think that anybody will, no, anybody could, but I think that some people can. I think that somebody could step in and just continue what she was, just continue her mission, continue what she was about, continue what she was doing, right? Because push come to shove, though, and this is going to be pretty hard for many a creative here. I guess we have to just push ourselves. We have to keep working, keep creating, keep doing. You know what I mean? No matter how daunting it is of a task. Because I mean, I wouldn't lie. There's numerous moments where I feel like just me talking about film is worthless. Like nobody cares. You know what I mean? But I have to motivate myself and just keep moving, right? And in my case too, I mean, if I had given up back then, I mean, I would not have been able to meet so much great people, right? Whether it's my co-host Ricardo Medina, whether it's just filmmakers or rappers or just musicians down here who just want someone to just take some time, check out their work, and just give honest feedback. And it's not just honest feedback to be like, all right, well, he thinks it's trash, okay, I should give up. But no, honest feedback like, all right, I could do this better. Let me just step things up. And what I mean, that's what we need to do. We just keep stepping up and just keep growing and keep getting better, right? I know that's something that Janine was doing, but for me, just to wrap things up, um, yeah, boy, this was a huge loss, boy. This is a huge loss as far as the creative arts world in Trinidad and Tobago is, man. So, rest in peace to Janine Charles-Farray. You will be missed by a lot of people, man, and your legacy will live on, I mean, through the ages, man. And when it comes to being a creative, when it comes to just pushing ourselves, when it just comes to the potential of what being a creative in Trinidad and Tobago could be, yeah, we're gonna think of one name, and that's gonna be hers, man. So I really appreciate the fact that she met me and met other people and took the time to check out our stuff, man. And yeah, this is definitely gonna be a big loss, man. So rest in peace to Janine Charles-Farray. You've touched so many lives, though, and yeah, again, your legacy will live on. So yeah, that's all I have to say.